It is Sunday, February 9th, 2025. So I'm sitting here kind of writing down some things because, sometimes you got to do these things, man. You have to because as you listen to certain individuals, you listen to a lot of different people, you absorb a lot of different content, you absorb anything, you read articles, you read books, you read a lot of stuff. Sometimes your perceptions may shift a lot, because obviously if you're listening to many different individuals, reading a lot of different books by different individuals, if you're reading a lot of articles made by different individuals, you have to understand that these individuals, these authors are creating a certain perception, not really creating a certain perception, they are living, well, I should say they're giving you some information based on their perception, based on where they are at in life right now, you know what I mean? And we have to understand that we, the listener, the ones that are viewing these perceptions, these information, we could view it and it has a little bit of truth in it. Obviously, it has some sort of truth, and we have to understand that when we read and view these things and view these videos and view these contents, it may change us or shift our perception, right? Because it has a truth, because it has some form of truth. It may resonate with you on the inside. It might get you in your feelings or your feels, and it may change your perception in a sense, and it makes you want to walk that path or walk their path or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, if you're at a point of awareness, you would recognize and see that, oh, okay, well, I'm not really living for myself now. I'm not living for myself because now I'm viewing this content and reading this content, and it's hitting me because it has a truth to it. It has some form of truth to it because I feel something. I connect to it in some sense. Whatever article, video, content, book, movie, whatever it might be, person, individual, doesn't matter. We connect it in some form or sense and not to say it's too dangerous. It could help you in a sense, but I don't think we all should just connect to it and call it truth because it may not be your life. Maybe you want to live your own life, huh? Why can't we live our own life, right? Hold on a second. So, if you're at a point where you have this kind of awareness, you get to see the difference. You get to see, okay, you know what? I'm listening to a lot of music that have a lot of lyrics, um, I'm at a point of awareness where I could see, okay, with these lyrics that these artists are, spewing out, they're spewing out from their life, their heart, and I may feel something from it a little bit, or maybe I could just live vicariously through their words, but it's not my life. It's not my world. So me trying to be something that I'm not, I can't be them. I could live vicariously through them, through their lyrics and music, but I'm not them. The beat might sound good, the lyrics may sound on point with the beat, but that's not my life. So we have to be very careful in shifting our perspective or perception, I should say, to someone else's perception. We have to kind of like go out here and view life as it is, regardless of someone's opinion or perception, I should say, right? You ever get someone to come to you? You ever had someone come to you and talk to you about someone that you don't even know, right? You don't know this other person. This person comes to you and talks to you about this certain person that you don't know, and then they spewing out so much negativity about this person. But you don't know this person. You ever get to a point where your perception is shifted in a sense, like, now, okay, well, now I got to view this person as the negative that this person is telling me about. Or now this person is a mean person because this other person has told me that this person is mean. I don't know this person, but this person told me that this person is mean or a bad person. So now my perception is shifted. Now my feelings towards them is gonna be a brick wall I'm gonna put up against. You know what I mean? You have to be very careful not to do that. You know what I mean? I know most people don't. I know some people don't do that, but you know, you have to be very careful on absorbing perception. Please don't absorb someone else's perception. You know what I mean? Just take it as their word because that's their perception. Does you don't have to live what they're living right now. You know what I'm saying? You might have a different interaction with this said other person because the energy field, the energy may be a little bit different, right? So take that into account when it comes to listening to music, watching movies, videos, when it comes to watching YouTube, when it comes to reading articles. Those may help you a little bit, but always take it with a grain of salt, regardless. So take it with if it provides just a little bit of help, then do it. But don't allow it to change your perception. Don't live it. Don't live their perception. Don't don't pick yourself up and put yourself in their world because you have a whole life for yourself, right? You have a whole life for yourself. You don't have to live someone else's dream. You don't have to. You know what I mean? Although most of us are working a job, we got clock in. We are living someone else's dream, literally. But we could get to a point where we pick ourselves out of that person's dream, right? And put ourselves in our own dreams. We could do that. You know what I mean? I know, we have to get over fear and all this other stuff and fear of trying to find or work your own kind of income, make your own kind of money, boom, boom, boom. But it's possible. In this life, in this world, it's possible. You just gotta draw that energy. You gotta go after it. If it's something that you want to do on your own, any kind of work, job, whatever, you could pick yourself up out of someone else's dream or perception and put yourself back into your perception, your life, your view, your whatever, because this is your life. This is your body. This is everything of you, of your life, man. You don't have to live someone else's perception, as I'm saying. So, just be aware. I think it starts with becoming aware of where you at in life, being aware of what content you listen to, what things, the things that people tell you, and you got to be very conscious and very aware not to live someone else's perception, life, view, and that goes back to the church. That goes back to everything. The Bible goes back to Quran. It goes back because if you live these people's lives, these individuals' lives, their view, you're not free. Is what I'm saying. You're not free. You're not living the will of your higher self, which is, I believe, is the creator in you. You're not living the will of your higher self. So take that. I'm not telling you guys not to listen to people. Always listen. You know what I mean? But take it with a grain of salt, as I've always said before. Hey, if you're liking the content thus far, don't forget to press that like button. And if you really, really liking the content and you watching my other videos, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Alright? Yeah. So I kind of was just writing certain things down that, I believe that, and I might put some more. I only got 18 things, but just something that could possibly help you. And this is like I said, This is my list of things. So you could just listen and then just write your own list. You write your own list. Don't write my list. So what I wrote down first is what I wrote down first as a title. I said, "Living my life." My Bible, whatever, right? Living my life, my Bible. All right, so I put down as number one, living my life, the best version, doing what my heart's content, right? That's number one, doing what my heart's content, right? Number two, saying what I want to say. Now, this is very important because there's a lot of people out here that are very, I would say, reserved. But I've learned that the people that I've engaged with that are reserved and they don't talk, they have a lot to say, right? Like, you ever talk to a person that's quiet? And I've probably been this person too, very very quiet. But you ever talk to someone who's very very quiet, reserved, that's laid back, that just stays to themselves? When you start to talk to them, and they start to open up, they have a lot to say, a lot to say, right? And it'd be surprising, like, dang, you talk a lot, which is good because people have a lot to say. It's like literally burning in their chest, and they just they need to release it. It's your throat, your throat is a chakra point. We have to release these energies. We can't bottle it up, right? So saying what you want to say and not bottling up your words, that's of course something I need to work on, obviously, because I tend to, society tends to tell you, oh well, you got to be a nice person and say nice things. You got negative energy inside you. You gotta cuss sometimes, man. You gotta curse sometimes and release that negative energy that is in your chest, burning in your chest, or whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be a cuss word. It could be anything that you view life as. You know what I'm saying? If you view life this way, or if you just want to confess something, then say it. You know what I mean? Say it to someone that you feel close to, or confide in, or whatever. So if I could understand people, and I'm at a conscious awareness, I would possibly engage a person who's quiet, who's reserved, because they may have a lot to say. I kid you not, they may have a lot to say. So I would engage them, make friends with them possibly, and allow them to get whatever is off their chest. Allow them to get it off their chest, whatever it might be, whatever conversation it might, go to, whatever topic. I just have them talk because they may have a lot of stuff to say. So that's very important. I mean, probably a bunch of people, a bunch of you guys, whoever listens, could add that to their list. Saying what you want to say, just say it. Also, number three, asking the questions you want to ask. You always want to ask the questions, always, because there's so much information out there, and there's just so much things that just you put a question mark. It's like, okay, what, right? So you want to ask the questions. Don't bottle up your question. There's no. I believe there's no stupid question, right? There's no stupid question. If you don't know, you don't know. So I believe if you ask the first question, it'll lead to another question, then lead to another question, and then you start making more, I would say, intelligent questions. Like I said, there isn't no stupid question, because if you're asking the question, you're seeking. You're seeking truth, you're seeking a truth, you're seeking information, right? So always ask the question. Do not bottle up your question. You need to ask these questions so you could learn some form of information, whatever it might be. So that's me at this time. I'm be asking questions. I don't care who I'm asking it to. Boom. Number four, pampering yourself when the time comes and allows. You have to pamper yourself. You know, people say, "Oh, we got to be non-selfish." You gotta help those. That's fine. We could do that, but we have to pamper ourselves as well. We have to take time for ourselves, and self love. We have to exhibit self love at times. We have to pamper ourselves. Sometimes this world will give us a lot of crazies, and we need to step back for a second. Number 5, staying away from consuming the foods that hurt, right? And then we shall consume the foods that heal. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are health nuts, right? And they say, "Oh, this one food is good for you. This same food is bad for you." It's like, people say, "Oh, broccoli is good for you. Broccoli is bad for you." It's like, okay, well, which one is it? You know what I mean? Two people saying different things. Is broccoli good or broccoli bad? Now, this is where discovering self comes in. You have to see what works for you, right? So, people say broccoli may not be good for people, right? But it doesn't do anything to you, right? It actually helps you. It actually heals you, right? So it goes back to what I was saying about perception. You just because you listen to someone and they say, "Oh, broccoli is bad for you," you're gonna stop eating broccoli? No, you consume the broccoli, right? And see how it works for you. You eat it. If it heals you, then you know what. Then you could still eat broccoli, right? If it hurts you, then you stop eating the damn broccoli, right? So it goes back to what I was saying about perception. You have to live your life, not because what someone else says. Man, I'm gonna eat this broccoli. It tastes good, you know, and it's good for me and it's good for my brain and my body. Boom, boom, boom. So number 5, staying away from the foods that hurt. So if you are aware of what foods that hurt you, then stay away from them. Right? If you are aware of what foods heal, then you eat those foods. Right. All right. Number 6, meditation for healing and connecting to higher self. So, as I said before, you have to connect to your higher self, and I believe the efficient way of doing that is meditation. All right, that's number 6. That's straightforward. Number 7, using meditation to disconnect from the world views, individuals, and what society and church think how you should live. So, like as I said before, with meditation, you are able to do wonderful things like healing and connecting to your higher self. But you can also use meditation to disconnect from the worldviews, from individuals you have listened to, YouTube content creators. If you watch a lot of YouTube, anyone, your mom, your pop, society, church say, "Oh, you got to live this way," and boom, boom, boom. This is the only way you get to the heavens. Yada yada yada. You live your life. You live your life and see what God has for you, your higher self. See what the higher self, your creator, has for you, right? We're running around like sheeps. Well, why? Why are we running around like sheeps? No, we are with the God is within us. So, take care, think about that, All right, number 8. All right, so this is very important. I think I mentioned this earlier. Limiting the music and lyrics you listen to, for they always shift perception often, and it may feel like you're living their life. So, as I said before, when you're listening to the music with lyrics, the people that are singing their songs with their lyrics in the song, you have to be very careful because it may shift your perception in certain sense. You're living vicariously through their words, but you never probably lived their life. So you have to be very careful to not allow their lyrics to shift your perception on what the world is. It may not be your world, it may not be your reality, but their lyrics is their reality. Their lyrics is their perception of how they view the world. It may be different from how you see it, right? It's crazy. You have 10 people standing on the same street, and something happens, and you have 10 different stories. You have 10 different stories because the views may be different. The mind is different. It's just a little different. Same spirit, but the mind may be a little bit different. Perception may be a little bit different. So you have to be very careful when with with the music, with the lyrics in them. Me, I'm gonna be listening to more music instrumentals without lyrics because I mean there's no lyrics, so there's no shifting of my perception and me living their life in a sense, right? All right, so number 9, read a lot of self help articles, of course, and books. So when it comes to this, you have to read a lot of self help articles. Anything that you're trying to work on, career, whatever, go with that. You know what I mean? So anything that's gonna help you, you know that this is gonna help you financially, whatever it might be, spiritually. Read those self help books. Obviously, take everything with a grain of salt, but read the books. I would read the books more than watching, videos, but just keep that in mind. I'm not, like I said, this is my list, so you just take you can take whatever from it, but make your own list. Number 10, you have to limit the self help videos and YouTubes because the videos are the creator's perception. It may not be your life. So that's number 10. That's the same thing I was saying earlier. All right, number 11, recognize manipulation when it occurs. Recognize when you become the manipulator. So this is you only can get to this point when you are aware or you have this Christ consciousness, as I like to call it. You have to recognize when the manipulation comes. When someone's coming out, you living your best life, you chilling, right? And someone comes out of nowhere and tries to shift your perception or shift your mind and tell you something about someone else or tell you something that they trying to put you on to something, but it's really to their gain, whatever. You got to recognize the manipulation when it occurs. You have to get to this point of awareness where you just don't fall for every and anything, right? Also, you could recognize with this Christ consciousness or awareness, you could recognize when you become the manipulator. So you have to understand that you don't want to be walking out here trying to manipulate people just because you have higher awareness or higher intelligence. No, we're not using God's power to manipulate. We're not using our words, God's words, to manipulate people and shift their perception. No, we're not doing that because we, guys that have this higher consciousness, know that people will have to live their life and walk in their own path to their higher self. Walk their own path with Christ consciousness. If they ever get there. So we're not out here trying to manipulate people. We're out here walking with no ego. Without the ego, we're not trying to convert. You know what I'm saying? Like you got church folks, Christians trying to convert people. I'm not here trying to convert you to higher self awareness. I want you to get there, but I know you have a journey for yourself. You have your own life. You have your own view. You have your own perception. Right? So I could recognize that if I'm trying to convert, then I'm being a manipulator. I'm trying to manipulate your mind. Right? Now I could tell you the truth. I could tell you a truth, but it may not be your life. You have to live your life. Right? I'm not gonna put my life in your life. I'm not doing that. You got to live your life right now. You got to make the mistakes, for this is the realm of mistakes. Earth is the realm of mistakes. You got to make your mistakes for you to learn and get to, the Christ consciousness is what I'm talking about. To get where you need to go, wherever it might be. So that was number 11. I know I said a lot for that one, but number 12, you don't have to do the thing someone says works for them. So if you watch a YouTube video and they say, "Oh, this is what worked for you because it works for me," boom, 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 you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. You have your own life. You don't have to do it. Trust me. You have your own life. Live your life. Do what works for you. Just because it works for them, you don't have to do it. You could try it. But if it didn't work for you, then don't continue, obviously. So that was straightforward. Number 13, be still at times. Be still. Meaning, hey, look, man, there's some things that you don't have control over. And you gotta let the universe work. You gotta let God work. I'm telling you, you gotta let God do his job. You gotta let the universe work. You probably moving too fast. Whatever it might be. You expecting something. You probably anxious right now. You need to be still. You need to chill and stop forcing things. Right? You let God work. I'm telling you, if you prayed for it, let God work. You doing too much. Fall back. Be still at times. That's number 13. All right, number 14, consume and engage anything only when it's needed, and it'll provide. Consume and engage anything only when it's needed, and if it'll provide relief or peace or help. So that's basically what I was saying. Only consume whatever it is, content, whatever it is, if it's gonna provide you relief, peace, or help. If it's gonna provide you release or relief or peace or help, consume it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't condone addiction of any kind. Of any kind, I don't care. I don't condone addiction. So you have to be aware of your addictions as well, right? But I do promote. Not promote, but I do condone healthy moderation. Healthy, whatever it might be, whatever engagement you engage into, I condone healthy moderation. If it's going to provide you peace, relief, or some help, consume it. Boom. All right, so I'm gonna skip number 15 because, well, I could say number 15 says that I'm gonna voice record often. Of course, what I do is that I voice record my life. You know what I mean? I try not to write it too much, except for this. I just probably the only thing I've been writing. But I try to voice record as much as I can because that's what I do. That's how I document my life. Boom. Number 16. Absolutely do not overload on information. So this is very, very important. Like I said, this is my list. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but this is my list. If you want to take something from it, that's fine. But number 16 says, absolutely do not overload on information. We have to understand that if we try to overload too much on information, our mind's gonna go. We're gonna get headaches. We're gonna go crazy. We're gonna start seeing life as, man, what the heck is going on? We're gonna become conspiracy theorists. We're gonna, you know what I mean? We have to relax our minds. Remember, our minds is like a muscle. Our brain is like a muscle. So if you're working it out too much, it's gonna get tired, right? It's gonna be sore. So we have to limit or take time on our brains. Take time, man. Take time. So do not overload too much on information. Not to say not to study. Go ahead and study. But too much information may be detrimental to your health or whatever it might be, your brain or, your nervous system. So take time on doing that. All right, number 17, working. Number 17 is something I'm working on. I'm actually working on some sort of career. I'm actually working on a certain career that's going to provide me freedom to make money on my own. So that's number 17. I ain't gonna tell y'all what I'm gonna do. That ain't y'all business. Alright, so number 18, and like I said, I might add some more, whatever comes to my mind. But number 18 says, pray often. Praying to your God, our creator, our source, the Almighty. Our God, man. In Jesus' name, of course, in Jesus' name. Because we love Jesus. He's the living embodiment of what we all want to be with God. Healing and all this other stuff. But we have to pray often to our source, our God, and draw on his energy and give him his praise, give him his thanks that without him, man, this life wouldn't be. You know, without him, this life wouldn't be. You know, we have goods and we have bad times. That's fine. That's the beauty of life. If it wasn't good or and bad at the same time, this life would be boring. It would be. I kid you not. It would be boring. Hey, I met some funny people, bro. That they cuss. They act on their negative energy. In most cases, they don't kill people, of course, but they're so funny because they're living their life and they're saying what they want. You know, no filter. They come. They're free to say what they want. That's what I need to work on. Of course, they're free to say what they want, and they're so lively and bubbly. And how could God condemn them for being themselves? How could God condemn them for being themselves and they being so jovial and putting smile on people's faces? Just for them being jovial and cussing and all this other stuff, they putting smile on my face. How could God condemn that? How could God condemn that? No, sir, wait. No, sirree. I don't think that a God would condemn a person for being themselves. And acknowledging that this is them. And finding themselves. Oh, this is me. You know what I mean? I'm not making the world change me just because the world's telling me to live in a good person or a nice person. I'm supposed to be nice all the time. No. I got negative energy inside me. I could understand that. I'm going to release it in some form or fashion. And I'm not going to bottle it up. If I bottle it up, I'm going to become a psychotic killer out here. I'm going to be trying to kill everything out here because I bottled up all my negative energy. No. I'm going to release it, and I may make people laugh just by me cussing a lot. I'm not telling people to start cussing. I'm not saying that. But cussing or cursing is a form of release. You know what I'm saying? Cursing as in cursing words, that is, not cursing yourself. You don't want to curse yourself and damn yourself. You don't want to do that. But just you don't want to bottle up on negative. You don't want to close it up because that's when addiction starts. You get addiction by bottling up what's inside you. You're trying to cope with something that you haven't released all your life because your parents or whoever society is telling you that you need to be all positive and good all the time. The church says the same thing, that you're supposed to be all positive and good. That's very, very, that's not a good idea, especially with these pastors and preachers who have grown up in the church and they bottle up so much of this negative energy. Now they're coming out raping children and all this other stuff. They raping children and they coming out and leaving the pulpit because of sin or whatever you want to call it. I don't even like to call it sin no more. I think everything that is what God is out here. People call it sin because they put a negative into it. You got all this bottle up negative energy. Do people call it sin? Without really addressing the real issue of living your life to the fullest and understanding yourself. Understand yourself. I understand myself. I got to a point where, look, man, hey, I'm not fighting anymore. I'm not fighting. I know what this flesh is. I know what my spirit is. Hey, I love God. I love women. I love women. I love brown skinned women. I know what I like. So I'm not gonna fight because this flesh is what it's gonna be. And I can acknowledge who I am. Just because I love women doesn't mean I don't love God. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to embrace this life, right? Embrace my life and embrace who I am and not shut it down is what I'm saying. I'm not shutting it up, right? And people telling me, oh, well, if you think that way, then you're a sinner, boom, boom, boom. No, this is what God made this damn body. you know. And if I shut it down, then all kinds of craziness gonna happen to my body. I'm gonna start getting sick, as I did back in 2023, because I wasn't living. I'm not living my nature, right? You want me to shut? See, that's the thing. Society wants you to shut up your nature. How? That is very dangerous. You can't shut up your nature, because nature is gonna explode like the Big Bang. So no amount of shutting up nature is you know, that's not a good route, because that breeds psychotic killers and rapists and all this other stuff. I'm not trying to be no rapist out here, right? So I'm not shutting up myself and saying, okay, well, I don't acknowledge that I don't love women. I love women, bro. I love to be around them. I love their presence. I love my wife as well. Doesn't mean I don't love my wife. I love my wife. I want to embrace her as well. I love being around women though. Right? But I love God. I love everything that is of God, which is this whole universe. I want to explore everything about this universe. I want to be the man that I am. Hell, I just found out the other day I'm some damn treasure hunter. I much rather hunt down whatever I'm seeking, whatever treasure I'm seeking, whatever it might be, than actually using the damn treasure. Right? I would just want to collect them. I'm a collector of sorts. You know? This is me finding myself and knowing myself. Okay, well, this is who I am. Boom, boom, boom. I'm not allowing anyone to change me because of their perception. Right? This is who I am. I'm going to embrace it and walk with the higher self, whatever that might be, whatever God has for me. That's how I'm going to walk going forward. And this is how I want everyone to walk going forward, with what God, their higher self, has for them, not what other people have for you. No, because that's not you. That's not your view. That's not your worldview. That's not your perception. So live your life, is what I'm saying, to your higher self. Walk the road. Walk that yellow brick road, whatever, the narrow path, whatever it is. Walk your road, is what I'm saying. So that's why I'm gonna end it, because it seemed like my family, they waking up and now they making a lot of noise downstairs. But anyway, I'm gonna end it right there. I thank you guys for listening. I hope you take something from it and learn from it. I thank you guys for listening. I catch you guys later. If you guys and girls made it this far, press that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on my Facebook page, take the time to subscribe to my YouTube page at Noticetv. That's all caps, NOTICE TV. I'll catch you later, and may God bless you.